What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and I've got the Oneplus 5 here. We've tested the speed, now let's test the cameras. It's got a very similar dual lens setup as the iPhone 7 Plus, but a slightly higher megapixel count. So the iPhone 12 megapixel on both, with an optical image stabilizer and optical zoom with quad flash. Great stuff. OnePlus is a little lacking here, but makes up in megapixels, 16 and 20 megapixels. So let's go ahead and stack these up and start with an audio test. Out on Columbia, I'm gonna be doing some recordation, and it's a pretty muggy day out, so don't expect too much colors today. It's Washington, typical Washington weather. All right, out on the Columbia, lots of boats here. Really not much to see. It's an overcast kind of day, but just to give you guys a little bit of an idea in different scenarios here, in different lighting conditions. So both look alright. The OnePlus, I don't know, it's hard to tell while holding these phones. I usually will give you guys the wrong opinion because from what I see on the displays is different from what you guys will see, because the OLED panel on the OnePlus shows things a little bit more vibrantly. Looks alright on both, I guess. It's 4K. So a quick panning shot for you. iPhone seems a little bit smoother to me. Alright, let's move on to the next scenario. Alright, so this is where we arrived at the Chinese Gardens in Portland, and it was immediately apparent, even from holding the phones and using them right there and then, that the OnePlus 5 has a serious issue when it comes to stability. Now, I don't have gyroscope-like hands, you know, my hands aren't super stable, and the OnePlus definitely reflected upon that. So the iPhone made up for it with the electronic image stabilization as well as optical, which was great. So this is one thing that I don't know why OnePlus wouldn't put inside of their phone. Does it really cost that much to add it? It really jarred the image and took away from the quality, I think. Despite the fact that it's a fantastic looking camera, that's the one issue. And of course, all of these cameras are going to have their flaws and benefits, but moving past that one issue, look at the clouds on the OnePlus 5. It has noise in daylight. That I couldn't understand why, and that was only something I saw after post-processing. Sometimes if you'll move the camera pretty fast, you'll notice that there's noise out of nowhere. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because the camera can't handle motion very well, and the lack of an optical image stabilizer contributes to that fact. But here in closer detail, I just wanted to show you guys this. Look at how washed out the OnePlus 5 seems. It's a bit strange because wildlife, grass, plants, flowers are very vibrant and colorful, but when you focus the camera on something a little bit less colorful, it doesn't have much to brighten. So as you can see, the camera looks a little washed out here. The iPhone definitely shines here. Alright, so underneath the house, just so you guys can get an idea of pitch black, low light, so got a little bit of light. Go ahead and close the door. And this is like almost no light. OnePlus, definitely you can make more out. There's a little bit more noise. Yeah, there's a little bit more noise, but they both do really good, surprisingly. I like that. The OnePlus 5 only has electronic image stabilization in 1080p. I'd like to give you guys a little walk, show you guys the stutter, maybe even a slight little jog here. Oh man, these guys are excited. What's up? Oh man. Alright. As you guys can see, iPhone certainly seems like it has more control over the image here, as the OnePlus 5. Quite juddery, I must say, but the electronic image stabilization, at least there's that, and it's pretty okay. Alright, so I just want to do a quick focus test here with a subject, so a frog, and both are pretty quick. I'd say they're very comparable. So focus there, there, there. Maybe the iPhone, no, I'd say they're both quite fast. So focus is really good. Close-ups. Wow, they can both get pretty close. The OnePlus a little bit blurry at this distance. The iPhone can definitely catch more, so not bad. Another low lights test here. This is in the chicken pen. I don't know, it's really hard to tell here. The iPhone, I think, represents the colors a little bit better in low light. The OnePlus has some great detail and it's brighter, where on the iPhone it's a little bit darker. So as you guys can see, very good on both. I like the slight bokeh with the iPhone. Oh, don't bite me. Man, this guy's not really that afraid. What's up, boy? Alright, so slight low light there. Both do great. I mean, at this price point, I would expect nothing less. Stability at 6 times. Hey, buddy. Oh, man. On the iPhone, seems a little less jittery. If I start moving, oh, man, you do not want to start moving while zoomed in. Quite terrible. Optical image stabilization really works wonders here on the iPhone. What's up, buddy? Meow. Alright, and at 1080p I wanted to see what the stability is like. Just moving. There's a shot of the kitty cat. Come here, buddy. What's up? How you doing? Here's some color close-ups here, so a wide variation, and both fantastic. You can get some great detail. The iPhones are a little more dull. Then again, it's always been neutral on the colors mostly. OnePlus brings a little bit more vibrance to the shot. The greens especially, I like that. Let's go ahead and check out our famous shutter issue here. So this is actually not terrible on the iPhone. Wow, I could almost say that Apple has improved it since older days. Definitely not terrible. So if you really move it, you get some sort of a judder. OnePlus handles it very well. Very smooth transition. iPhone still needs to work on it a little bit, but Apple has done wonders here. Alright, and here is the slow motion test. So we've got some blue liquid going with some glass, and I gotta give it to the OnePlus. The detail is great. I noticed that it's very sharp, a little bit sharper than the iPhone's, but it crops the image. The iPhone doesn't need to be placed as far away from the subject as the OnePlus for whatever reason, but overall both quite good. And just wanted to throw in a motion shot here. So when panning on both devices, you'll see that the iPhone is a little bit smoother. It kind of blurs more on the OnePlus 5, I noticed that. Especially when you're in 4K, things start getting very noisy when panning. And here are some pictures to show off that quality. So notice the OnePlus's strength. It has fantastic dynamic range. You'll notice in shots with a lot of light in it, it still displays the quality of subjects right in front of that light very nicely. I noticed that's definitely a great thing. Now, portrait mode on the OnePlus is also pretty good, but not as well-rounded as the iPhones. The images aren't as clear, and the distinction between the blur and the subject isn't as precise. I also didn't like the fact that you have to stand very close to the subject on the OnePlus 5, 1 to 6 feet, where on the iPhone you can fit a lot more while still getting that portrait effect in. And this is kind of what I meant earlier. Greenery is very green on the OnePlus 5. It's as if it's a software thing to make it seem more vibrant, where gray or duller colors definitely do not have the very same vibrance. And these are pictures taken using the flash in a pitch black environment, so on the iPhone you can definitely make out a lot more detail. I don't know why the OnePlus smooths everything out, especially skin, and it doesn't have the same true tone flash. So Apple's is superior. The screen actually flashes much brighter, I noticed that. the rear flash is much better on the iPhone. The colors, the detail, you can make out much better. So in a finishing conclusion, I'd like to point out the strengths and weaknesses of the OnePlus 5. One, the apparent shake in all of the video due to the lack of optical image stabilization is very off-putting. The artificial colors in some of the scenes, I feel like the greenery is very artificial. It's trained a software thing to recognize it and make it a little bit brighter than it should be, and it's not apparent in all areas. Because it's very apparent to me when filming a brown color, something different that's not green, it doesn't have the same vibrance. There's also a persistent noise when filming in 4K and having movement with the device. Notice in the clouds there, it's very off-putting as well. So that's my take on the OnePlus 5's camera. It certainly could be better. It almost feels as if it was a little rushed, like they could have taken a little bit more time to improve it, but I'm sure with time, with software updates, it will be getting better. It does have strengths as well, as the dynamic range is very good for this camera, and the low light capability I was very surprised with, outdoing the iPhone 7 Pluses. So thanks for watching this camera comparison. Be sure to check out the speed test as well, but that's the OnePlus 5 for you. Peace.